Well, a heads up if you live or commute north of the GTA. Environment Canada has issued several warnings and watches for snow squalls, and in some areas the conditions could be especially treacherous. A blizzard warning is in effect for Owen Sound, Blue Mountains and Grey County, where up to 80 centimetres of snow is expected. With strong wind blowing, the snow around visibility is expected to be near zero. Snow squall warnings are also in effect for several areas, including Barrie, Orangeville, Bracebridge and Gravenhurst. Well, those areas could also get up to 80 centimetres of snow. A snow squall watch is also in effect for the Innisfil area. Right now, we're joined live by OPP Sergeant Carrie Schmidt for more on these hazardous conditions. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, Sergeant. Let's talk about, first off, where are you? What are the conditions where you are?
Well, you can see behind me blue sky and traffic is moving along well. 401 in Yonge Street here in Toronto. So this is certainly not the winter extreme weather that is happening not far north of us right now. So conditions are good here, but we know how quickly that can change. And I was actually just talking to Constable Hobson up in the southern Georgian Bay and other officers up in the northwest that of this area that are experiencing those snow squalls and streamers, which is making for some very challenging driving conditions and crashes in the area.
And those conditions, Sergeant, can often change rapidly within a moment's notice. Right now, we're showing on our current conditions minus 18 winds out of the west at 52 kilometers an hour, wind gusts potentially above 70. Let's talk about what drivers need to know, especially in those snow squall conditions where you can be driving, everything looks groovy, and all of a sudden you can't see in front of you.
Absolutely right. And with those strong winds, if you're driving a big vehicle, it can blow you around a little bit, get you a little caught off guard. Also, panic, you overcorrect, you steer, you go sideways. Things can go sideways very quickly when you're not driving to the conditions and slowly enough for you to adjust your driving appropriately and accordingly. So please take it easy out there, and we know we can go from beautiful blue sky to whiteout conditions in a matter of seconds, and what's behind those whiteout conditions could be other vehicles, stopped vehicles, or even a collision, and that's where we've seen multiple pileups and multiple vehicle crashes in the past, which can be absolutely horrific and tragic. So again, being prepared is so important. You know, we're dealing with good driving right now in the GTA, but this is our time to really plan ahead and think about, are we able to drive to those conditions, adjust our driving accordingly as they change, and make sure our vehicle is also prepared. Winter tires, washer fluid, snow brush, keeping your headlights on, and just making sure your vehicle is tuned with an emergency kit and all the supplies you need in case things happen unexpectedly on your journey.
Yeah, and it's also probably a good idea in case you haven't head up north in a while, just check the forecast and just kind of gauge whether or not it might be a good idea, and maybe you can kind of postpone those plans for another day.
Do you know what? You can go on 511ontario.ca for updated road conditions. I know we had challenges the last couple of weeks up in Gravenhurst, up on Highway 11. A lot of people were taking what their phones were giving them for directions and detours, and those detours may not have been appropriate for the type of vehicle you're operating, and you get up on little side roads which may not be cleared, and then it's going to be even more of a challenge for you to get help along the way. And also keep in mind, in some areas of the province, you may not have sufficient cell phone coverage, so you're down in a valley and you may not be able to call for help. So that's why it's so important for you to plan ahead and be prepared for whatever driving conditions you encounter.
All important information and advice. OPP Sergeant Carrie Schmidt, we always appreciate the updates. Thank you.